Now, Angola aren't particularly well known for producing world-class footballers, and you can probably tell that from the fact that Ivan Cavaleiro is their best player. Not that he's bad at football, he's just certainly not a world-class footballer. In this video, we're going to take a look at 6 clubs in Angola where you should be checking out, and hopefully you can find yourself a lovely little Angolan gem. The first club on our list is Football Club Bravos de Maquis, or Bravos de Maquis if you want to just find them. And basically, these are one of those teams that they don't seem to produce lots and lots of really good players, but they just consistently produce players with sort of 120 and 130 potential sort of range. Because we're in Angola, we're not going to be getting the next Leo Messi, and if we are, it is going to be once in a blue moon. But clubs like this will have the opportunity to produce players who are good as Ivan Cavaleiro. We have players like Victor Antonio who have come through in this Bravos de Maquis youth intake, or set of 5 youth intakes. He has 121 potential ability. He's actually been released from his club as well, which I don't understand why, because he's quite good. We also have Augusto Carvalho, who is a 20-year-old Angolan right-back, left-back, central midfielder who has 123 potential ability. And with 2 caps for the Angola national side at the age of 20, Ayuri Cruz has 131 potential ability. Bravos de Maquis will be producing players of this quality occasionally. They're not going to be doing it every single year, but you can certainly find some half-decent players from this club. The next club on our list is Atlético Petrolas de Luanda, or Petro de Luanda is what they're actually called in-game. I don't know what division they're in. They don't seem to have a division. They're not in the top division of Angolan football, at least in this save, but I think they might be there or thereabouts. They're one of the bigger clubs, if I remember correctly. In this save alone, there are 5 players that I want to take a very quick look at. We have Zefrino Maiceso, who is 117 potential ability, which does not sound like a lot, but when you're looking at clubs or nations like Angola, 117 is actually probably good enough to play for the Angolan national side. Maiceo is probably going to be playing Angolan football in the near future. Daniel Ambrosio has 123 potential ability at 17 years of age. He's a central defender with 5 tackling and 7 heading. He's not the best. Maybe you should possibly look at retraining him. He's also not a bad attacking midfielder for some reason. Moving into the realms of players who, once they hit their potential, will probably be able to get some game time at a top-level championship side or a low-level Premier League side, is Mario Silva with 130 potential. At just 18 years of age, he looks like a pretty good striker already. With 135 potential ability and 102 current ability as well, we have Josemar Vieira, 20-year-old Angolan striker and/or winger. He's already moved on to Desportivo Huila, might be what they're called, who are a top division side in Angolan football. He looks good. He's also not massively expensive either, plus they've actually signed him on a free transfer. So a lot of these players, particularly in sort of the lower down sides in Angola and in African football in general, don't often sign contracts, even if they're going to be superstars, so you can pick some of them up for free, like this guy. And finally, another striker in the shape of Ernesto Diogo with 138 potential ability. He can also play slightly as a right winger, which I'd argue might be his position. He's got 7 finishing, he's 6'6", he might be a centre-back, he's got 6 tackling. What position is this man? Please tell me in the comments, what position is Ernesto Diogo? Because I've got no idea. Next up, we are taking a look at Interclub, or Interclub. They're spelled Interclub with an E at the end. I'm going to call them Interclub because I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. They are a top division side in Angola, and in every single one of these simulations, they have produced at least 1 player with 130 potential or higher, and they seem to produce players sort of 120 to 130 fairly consistently as well. Players like João Mubenga, who has 121 potential ability, he's actually out of contract as his contract has expired, but he looks very good mentally. Some numbers in really good places, and technically as well. First touch, passing, technique and tackling as well, looking pretty good. I'd find this man somehow, and I'd buy him. He's good. Gabriel Baua, who is a 17-year-old Angolan and French central midfielder, has 122 potential ability. Doesn't look particularly anything special at the moment, but at 17 years of age, he's literally just come through the last youth intake, I think. So there's obviously plenty of time to grow. Got some numbers in some decent places as well. Andre Guimarães, who is looking very, very good already at 20 years of age, 15 under-20s caps as well for Angola, 125 potential ability. I think he's got like 80 current ability as well. He looks like a very good centre-back, maybe defensive midfielder if you ask me. And by far and away the best player to come through this interclub intake is Anderson da Costa, 16 years of age, central midfielder, can play defensive, can play slightly more attacking, mentally, numbers in good places, 138 potential ability on Anderson da Costa. And in one of the simulations that I did, Interclub actually managed to produce a man called Lazaro Di Piedade, who is a 19-year-old striker with 7 caps and 3 goals to his name already. He has 161 potential ability. Looks like he's also on the move. He's going on loan to 1st of August in Angola. Bit of a weird loan move, that one. Spent the season out on loan at Quevely and they bought him for £235,000. Bargain. I think possibly one of, if not the best club in Angolan football history, if I'm not mistaken, is Club Desportivo Primeira de Augusto, or 1st of August, I think is the really rough, terrible translation. They produce players every single year. Absolutely guaranteed you'll get at least one half-decent player come through their youth intake every single season, as long as you are loading up enough Angolan footballers. Let's take a look at just one of our many simulations that we've done in Angola to see what type of players you can get. Marvin Kalonji has 120 potential ability, and he's actually from the Democratic Republic of Congo, but he did come through the 1st of August youth intakes. Looks actually not terrible, and for a free transfer, you can't go wrong. Manuel Simao is a 16-year-old goalkeeper with 123 potential ability. He's just come through the last set of youth intakes, I believe, so plenty of time to grow, still very, very young. Another Democratic Republic of Congo is Luis Ngoma with 124 potential ability. Central defender, looks actually quite good. Physically got some numbers in decent places with the balance and natural fitness. Tackling and technique as well was weirdly high, especially technique for a defender. But at 15 years of age, you can't go wrong. At 15, he's worth the risk, especially for £50,000 maximum. Jose Antonio Kangamba is a 128 potential ability attacker midfielder. He looks good. He's got numbers in really good places. Dribbling, first touch, passing, technique. Obviously, anything that's at yellow is above 10, so it makes him look a little bit better than maybe he is, but he still looks very good. Moving into the 130 potential ability range, we have Fresnel Mboyo, who is a Democratic Republic of Congo central defender. He's also part Angolan as well. He has 130 potential ability, and at 16 years of age, he doesn't look bad, does he? He's already getting under 20s caps as well for Congo. Also with 130 potential ability is Paulo Correa, 18 years of age, Angolan central midfielder. I really like the look of him. He's quite expensive though. 50 to 150,000 pounds does not sound expensive, but he's quite expensive for some of the other players who have got similar potential. Another player with 150 potential ability is Angelino Souza, 18 years of age, striker. 33 under 21 caps, to his name for Angola. Physically looks very, very good. Technically got some numbers in reasonable places. Maybe needs to up his finishing slightly, but 18 years of age. Still very, very young. Still got plenty of time to grow. And he's not massively expensive, but still he's probably on the more expensive end for Angolan footballers with 130 potential. Ernesto Barros is next up. He has 135 potential. 18 years of age, striker. Looks good. I really like the look of him. He is no nonsense, and by that I mean he is not wasting any of his current ability points in long throws, marking, tackling, any of that nonsense. Doesn't need to cross, that's not his job. Doesn't need to do long shots. He is a poacher. He will stand on the penalty spot and he'll score you lots and lots of goals. His concentration and positioning is poor. He might stand on the far post and just read for a Beano or something, but still, Barros, I think, could be very, very good. And finally, with 141 potential ability, we have Jose João, who is an 18-year-old goalkeeper who looks good. He looks really good. He has very high tendency to punch and 13 aggression, so don't get in his way. If I was the manager of 1st of August, I would be playing this man as my number 1 goalkeeper, although you can't because you can't manage in Angola, which is annoying. I really want Football Manager to fix that. I want more African leagues to play in, more proper official African leagues, please, thank you. AFA Angola, or AFA brackets ANG, are a lower division club in Angola, but they are one of the best clubs, and I mean this, one of the best clubs in Angolan football to poach very good young footballers from. In this one save alone, I think they might have had a bit of a golden generation come through. 3 players with over 130 potential ability, and a few players as well with sort of 120 to 130. Carlos Gomez has 121 potential ability. Joaquim Jose has 123 potential ability. Eduardo Bernardo has 124 potential ability, and Afonso Mendes has 129 potential ability, although I don't think he's ever going to reach it because he's not very good at football. Then we have a huge leap up to Manuel Andrade, who has 138 potential ability. ability, he's the third best player from this AFA Angola side. He's going to be a very good goalkeeper in a few years. Although I have just seen in 137 appearances, he has conceded 232 goals. Maybe you're not a goalkeeper, mate. Adolfo Bastos has 143 potential ability, 20-year-old central midfielder. Looking at those mental numbers and those physical numbers, I would sign this man, and he does not have a contract. He's out of contract. We also have Bartolomeu Santos, who has 166 potential ability at 17 years of age. He's basically got no contract, has he? He's on £5 a week. He's ridiculous. For a 17-year-old, he's absolutely ridiculous. Always check out AFA Angola. And in a different simulation, Paulo Baio also came through the AFA ANG youth intakes. He's currently playing for Benfica, playing first team football as well for Benfica, also playing first team football for the Angola national side, and he has 166 potential ability as well. The final team we're going to take a look at is Academia Lobito in Angola. Obviously, they're all in Angola, in the top division. Now, this is a team that I was not going to include on this list, but in my recent Football Manager save with Reading, I managed to find an absolute gem from this team. So I thought, you know what, let's put them in this list as well. So let's take a look. Now, it's not a huge list of players that are coming from Academia Lobito, but we do have 3 to take a look at. We have Jose Chipongu, probably not his name at all, is it? A 16-year-old, obviously Angolan attacking midfielder and maybe striker with 126 potential ability. So actually not particularly bad at all. We also have Adilson Castro, who also has 126 potential ability. Physically looks all right. Technically, he's got some numbers in okay places, but because we are looking at Angolan football, and I must stress this, you're not going to be getting Leo Messi every single month and every single year and every single youth intake, but you will get the odd gem every now and then. And finally, we have Fernando Gaspar, who is a 15-year-old goalkeeper who's already played 3 times for the first team, who has 137 potential ability, so he looks like he could actually be quite good. However, he is 5'11", which isn't massively small. It's not tiny by any means, but for a goalkeeper, I want them to be at least 6 foot. Is that just me? I want my goalkeepers to be 6 foot tall. And in case you are wondering, this is Victor Cruz, who was the player that I signed from Academia Lobito in my Reading save, and just look how good he is. He is absolutely ridiculous. He's still only 23. I signed him for £600,000, which I thought at the time was quite steep, but seeing the player that he has become and he is turning into, I think we've got an absolute steal there. We are not in charge of Reading at this point, by the way, so yeah, if you want to go see what happens, go check out all the other videos. Now, not that this is a club that is on the list, but Cuando Cubango are a team that have produced Rui Fernandez, who is currently 20 years of age, 8 caps to his name, playing for Manchester City, and he is the best Angolan footballer to come through any of these simulations. I've actually done 7 simulations in Angola, and most of them hit about 160, 165 potential. Rui Fernandez has 188 potential ability, and he's come from this random team who weren't on my list because they didn't produce anyone good in any of the simulations bar this one simulation. Maybe you don't want to be signing players from Africa, maybe you want to be looking a little bit closer to home, and maybe some of the teams that you want to be checking out are from Spain. Well, this video on screen has 5 clubs from Spain. One of them you may well have never heard of that will be producing ridiculously good footballers year on year, so check that one out.